The Nurburgring Nordschleife, the ultimate bucket list track. And then it even elevated more because over the last 2 decades, 2 horrific crashes were the centerpiece of 2 movies that were produced. I spent like 2 years trying to learn this track.
3 things to know. Okay. First one, keep pushing, keep it.
Welcome back to It's Track Time. The Nurburgring Nordschleife, the ultimate bucket list track. This one's been on my list for years that I wanted to go there and drive this track, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. It's a daunting track. It's 13 miles around for 1 lap, 73 turns, 1,000 feet of elevation gain, and there's been over 200 people that have died on this track over the years. So it's a track that demands respect, and it demands that you learn it before you get there. Despite no longer having F1 races, the Nürburgring has still maintained its status in the gearhead world because of all the manufacturers setting up shop there and developing their cars and trying to set records there. If you set a record at the Nürburgring, your car sells. People pay attention to it. Every gearhead wants to buy it. It's a big status thing for all the manufacturers. And then it even elevated more because over the last 2 decades, 2 horrific crashes were the centerpiece of 2 movies that were produced. The first of these movies was Rush in 2013. It depicted the racing life of Niki Lauda and centered around the massive crash that he had at the Nürburgring in 1976. He effectively careened into the wall at very high speed. The car lit up. Multiple cars ran into him after that. He was trapped in the wreckage the burning wreckage for over a minute before not rescue crews, but a driver stopped and got out of his car and pulled him out of the burning wreckage. It shaped his life, and he became a legendary driver. He was already legendary, but he became a massively legendary driver after that. That was a phenomenal movie, and it happened right there at the Nürburgring. The second movie was Gran Turismo. It came out in 2023, and it features a young driver named Jan Mardenborough, who effectively was a gamer and played on the PlayStation, the game Gran Turismo, won a competition, was invited to a driving school for Nissan to become a race car driver, and ultimately became a race car driver. As he was racing on the Nürburgring, his car went up over one of the jumps that are all over the track. There's probably like 3 of them on the track. And his car became airborne, and it was a horrific crash. The car flipped over the fence. There was a barrier fence which protects the people that are watching the race, and it flipped over the fence and took out a photographer. It killed a photographer and injured several people in the audience. That shaped his life after that. That was a horrific crash. It happened in modern times. It actually caused them to modify the track because of where he caught air. So when I drove on the track, that bump was not as steep as it was when he went over it. That was a modern movie that did well in the box office and made the track even more legendary. If you want to see the respect this track demands, look no further than this video that Red Bull put out with Alex Albon and Liam Lawson, 2 F1 drivers. They stuck them inside of a 991 GT4 RS on a track day at the Nürburgring and told them, hey, go out and drive a couple laps, 1 each. Watch these guys and watch them squirm in their seats where they were very uncomfortable driving around this track with traffic, and they knew the nasty parts of the track, and you can see them call them out as they come around. But I was really surprised at how they'd be laughing and then all of a sudden they get really serious, and you can see how these 2 guys are 2 of the best drivers in the world were terrified at different sections of this track to where they would become just dead serious and no laughing, and you could see the stress on their faces as they went around some of these turns. So yeah, watch this and take a look at the respect that these 2 professional drivers have for this track.
This guy in front is so fast.
I noticed there was two groups of people in the sessions that I was in. The people that spent the time, learned the track, and showed up with a lot of simulation time under their belt and did an orientation lap and then started trying to refine their lap for real at the Nürburgring. Those people had a great time. I was one of those people. I had a great time. And then there was another group of people that show up there with no time whatsoever on the track, no time on the simulator, and they figure they're just going to pick it up like they pick up a track like Spa, drive it for a day, you kind of learn the turns, and you pretty soon you're refining your lap the next day. That does not happen with the Nürburgring. If you show up there without knowing the track, you're going to have a horrible time. You got cars, traffic coming up on both sides of you. You're going around blind turns. You can't see which way the track is going. All these big different elevation changes. You got a instructor barking in your ear telling you which way to go, and you're trying to process what the hell's going on. So those people had a terrible time. They did not like the track. They did not like the experience. But the people that actually spent the time up front to learn the track on the simulator and then showed up there with the track memorized in their head, they had a great time. And it's now one of their favorite tracks, if not their favorite track. There's 73 turns you got to learn. And you can see the line that you have, the driving line there. You can see it drawn on the track. It's not a simple driving line. And so you have to spend the time on the simulator, figure out where the bad turns are. That's what I did. I started just driving and wrecking. And through doing that over and over again, you eventually start kind of memorizing where the bad turns are. The ones that start with a broad curvature and then spiral down into a tight curvature. After you've learned where those are, then you can start kind of linking them together with the other bits and pieces through reflex driving. And then you kind of keep working and working and working. And eventually, I spent like 2 years trying to learn this track. And I've talked to people that learned it like in a week by staying up 24 hours a day driving this thing, hundreds and hundreds of times. But I kind of just, would come in, drive it for a while, and then take a break and drive it for a while and take a break. And over time, I was able to memorize about 80% of it. And then I kind of really doubled down before the trip and kind of memorized that last 20%. So when I showed up, I pretty much knew the track. And I was very surprised at how close the simulator was to the actual layout of the track. I heard a lot of people say that you're going to be surprised by the elevation changes and they're not going to be the same as what you saw in the simulator. But I kind of disagree with that. I thought it was, after my first orientation lap, I thought it was pretty damn close. I was impressed. I mean, the driving dynamics of what you feel on the track and what you feel in the simulator are completely two different animals. But just getting the layout of the track and the orientation of the track, you've got to spend time on the simulator and learn it before you go there. Before I took off on the trip, the last car I was driving on the sim was the Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 Club Sport MR. So it's the Manti racing version of the race car version of the GT4. And I was getting pretty good with it. I liked the car. It was a good car for the Nürburgring, and they had a good setup for it on iRacing. And I was able to get the lap times down to around like a 720. And I thought, wow, that's a pretty good time. I mean, that's pretty close to a record time, right? So I looked up the record that was set by the street version of that car, and it was set by Lars Kern, who's probably the best driver that Porsche has right now for setting ring records. He's the guy that set the records with the GT2 and the GT3, and so he's one of their best drivers, if not their best driver on the Nürburgring. And he turned a 708. So I looked at my time on the simulator, 720, and his time in the real car on the track, 708. And I was like, okay, this is not right, because I'm not anywhere near as skilled as he is. So there's got to be something that's not correlated between driving the car on the simulator and driving the car for real on the track. So what I wanted to do here was to show you me driving the car on the track. And I'm driving a GT4 RS, so I have more horsepower and stuff. And then beside that, I want to put the simulator run of a 720 lap time in the MR and let you see the two of them side by side. And I think you'll see that the difference between these two is effectively a video game with no consequences versus a real car with real consequences, both on you and the passenger and on your pocketbook if you ping pong this thing off the wall. So the insurance that they give you when you rent the cars, they basically, on the GT4 RS, they say you're responsible for the first 100K, and then after that we'll pay. And so you're basically going to pay for 3/4 of that car if you ping pong it off the wall. So you do not want to take high risks out there. And then you've got these other people coming around you, and they're unpredictable as well. And then blind corners. I mean, you're coming around a corner and your instructor's telling you to keep your foot down and you can't see where you're going. I mean, I know which way the track is going, but I don't know if there's a car there that's going slow or if a car stalled so you're being told to keep your foot down, and you've got to somehow believe that that's the right decision at this moment in time and that I should keep my foot down. On the simulator, that's really easy. You just keep your foot down. And if you wreck, you hit the reset button, you try it again. In real life, that's not the way it works. And I think you'll see in the video here that that's the big difference between these two. It's reality versus a video game. Also, before I took off on the trip, I was texting with Randy and asking him for his advice on this. And he's driven on the Nurburgring before. And he said, yeah, you got to really watch what you're doing there. He said, it will bite you and it will bite hard. And he said, you need to leave a margin all the way around and watch the traffic. He said, it is pretty wild. And that's what I saw in the videos. And he says, I'm advising you not to treat this like a qualifying session. And so that kind of tempered my desire to push real hard. If a guy like him is telling me, yeah, don't do that. Don't treat it like the simulator. And so I kind of went into it with that mentality that I was not going to treat it like the simulator. I was going to treat it like I would treat any other track and try to drive it with respect. On the morning that I got there, we got set up in the car, and Arnaud gave me another speech and kind of went through his bullet list of 3 points on what you need to do. And it's interesting to listen to him, kind of temper you down and tell you need to drive this one different than you drove Spa.
So, 3 things to know.
Okay.
First one, you have track, white line, 5 meters of grass, and barrier.
Okay.
So never drive outside of the track.
Okay.
Never. Okay.
Don't even get close to the edge, probably.
Yeah. Curbs is like 20 or 30 centimeters high.
Whoa.
So never touch it.
Okay.
Because you will slide or jump or
okay.
It's crazy curbs.
Okay.
Okay. And third things, many corners are blind.
Okay.
So I will tell you if it's left or right just after.
Okay. And we won't know if there's a car at a slow pace as we come around the corner, right?
Yeah. I will check the traffic for you.
Okay.
If someone won't overtake you, I will show you the mirror.
Okay.
If there is someone, I will tell you there's someone.
And what should we do if we want to, for overtaking, is it?
Everywhere. Left or right.
Left or right?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically hold your line and let them get around.
Yeah.
But don't move.
Don't move, yeah.
Don't move right.
Let them overtake where they want.
Okay.
Okay. Don't move first.
Okay. And I'm going to use the turn signals.
No.
No, you don't want to use
Never.
that?
No,
Okay.
because there is some confusions.
Okay.
Sometimes you put left and they think I have to go left, and some more people think he go left, so I have to go right. So
Okay.
there's some mistakes.
So leave it alone.
Yeah.
Okay. And for the settings, I'm going to do that. Should I do this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
This and this.
So we're good there?
Yeah. AC, it's okay for you?
Yeah.
Cool.
The RSR building that we launched from was really close to the entrance of the Nordschleife. So you basically went down this 1-lane road, you turned, and then you were right at the roundabout at the Nordschleife. So there wasn't a whole lot of time to think about what you were about ready to do. You basically drove down the road or around the roundabout, and you went right onto the track, and you were launched on your first orientation lap with traffic. So now let's take a look at one of my laps on the Nordschleife. I'm driving on the left, on the right, I'm driving the simulator. Similar cars, one's a GT4 and one's a GT4 RS, but similar cars. The one on the left, I'm driving at about an 820 pace, and the one on the right, I'm driving at about a 720 pace. So there's a full minute difference between the two. And it's interesting if you guys can catch the differences between where this is all happening. So I'm going to keep the actual lap running. And when the simulator gets too far ahead, I'm going to pause it, and then we're going to catch back up and release it again. So you can kind of see from those pauses where this is happening. You can also see the cars pulling away from each other. So you'll notice that the simulator is much faster in certain areas. So it'll be interesting if you get the same impression that I got.
Okay, let's go. Straight as you can. Keep speed. Drive over the track. Brake straight. Right, left. And gas. Lift and gas. Brake one time. Turn in. Keep speed flat. Brake straight. Go in. Okay, overtake. Apex. Open your steering gas. Brake on the left. Turn in. Keep speed inside. Flat out on the left. Stay left. Keep gas. Keep gas. Straight. Brake hard. Left and right. Straight as you can. That's it. Open your steering a little bit. Back inside. Gas. Lift. Brake. Turn brake. Brake. And gas. Right and left. Okay, right and left. And flat out. Keep it, keep it, keep it, keep it. Lift. Brake a little bit. Long corner, 2 times apex. Keep it, keep it. It's okay. Impressive, but okay. You're a good driver. Keep gas. Okay. Overtake that guy and stay right for him. Okay, brake straight. Brake. Release brake. Go ahead. Okay, let him overtake.
Let him go.
Brake hard. That's it. Brake hard. Flat out. Follow him. You know the track. Keep gas. Keep gas. Keep pushing. Left side for apex. Clean and brake hard. Brake hard. Turn in. Gas. Brake again. Turn in. Blue paint. Brake straight. That's it. And turning. Wait for the gas. Wait for the gas. Flat out. Brake straight. Brake straight. Brake. Turn in. Gas. Open your steering. Brake hard. Left and right. Okay. Release gas. Brake hard. Left side. Turn in. Wait for the gas. Let's go. Right side. Chicane left and right. Okay. 3 time right. No apex for the first one. Apex for the second one. You're late, yeah. Open it, gas. Brake hard, and turning. Look far away, and gas. Flat out. Flat out. Brake straight, brake hard, turning. Open your steering. This is the town of Adenauer. Keep speed for this one. Brake a little bit. Keep speed for this one. Flat. Right to left. 70 degrees right. Flat. Straight. Brake hard. U-turn right side. Okay. Open your steering. Flat. Brake for carousel. Turn your head. Keep your gas. Wait to go out. Flat out. Inside. One. Just one time braking for this one. It's fast. Gas. Right. Brake straight. Left and right. Left and right. This is the same car. Same car on the left. Go in. Open your steering. Four corners. Left, right, left, right. Okay, right. Left and right. Left and right. On your steering. Brake straight. Turn it late. And straight. Right side. Late apex. Late apex. Okay, one time braking, turn in. Open your steering gas. Brake one time, turn in. Open your steering gas. Brake, turn in. Left and right. Two times left. And jumping zone. Okay, cool. Two times right, then two times left. Back right side. Then apex on the left. Straight as you can for the jump. Keep right, straight as you can, gas. Okay. Let's go down 90 degrees. Second carousel. Brake hard. Early apex. Open to the gate. The house. Stay to the house. And inside. Flat out. So, before that lap, you drive 8 and 38. Okay?
With two yellows, right?
With two yellow. Okay? So you are under 8 and 30.
Okay.
So this is a good job. And now I think you are under 8 and 20. It's
Okay.
faster. This one was faster.
Okay.
As you can see, when it's fast like 8 minutes, it's more difficult
Yeah.
because you feel the car bumping many times, go right and left about the track.
Yeah, there's a lot more
It's-
of a workload.
yeah.
It almost goes up exponentially.
That's why it's really hard to drive under 8.
Yeah.
It's a big step to have.
That's a, yeah, there's very few people that can probably do that. And then to get under 7, there's just a handful of people.
Under
right?
7 is just crazy.
Just a few couple people or
Yeah.
just a handful of people.
You need to have a big engine and
Yeah.
and know the track and all conditions.
Those guys are pretty surgical, right? They're not crazy. They know what the risk of what they're doing. The guys that are under 7.
Yeah. when we make some taxi laps for customers, we know the track by heart, so it's really fast every time.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Yeah. Okay.
As you can see, sometimes you keep gas. You need to be confident about me.
Yeah.
But
It's
impressive because it's really fast.
Yeah.
You feel the car moving by the centrifuge force.
Yeah. And you can't. If I can't see, I don't want to open the throttle up. You have to kind of trust it.
With the Lamborghini, with many traffic on track, many people on track, I drive 7 and 40.
Wow.
When you know the track, you know every piece of track, when your car will bump, when your car will slide, everything. It's really like a roller coaster. It's really fast. Wow, wow, wow,
yeah.
wow, wow.
At 840, are you at 10/10ths or are you leaving some on the table?
Your tent are leaving some a table.
Let me drive back and I'll get my helmet off.
Yeah.
I purposely did not look up where these horrific crashes had happened on the track. I didn't want to have any preconceived notion of where these turns were as I went through them. I wanted to come up with my own impression of the turns. And then I figured after I drove the track, I would sit down and look up where Nikki crashed and where Jan crashed and where other things had happened, like where's the YouTube corner that I see all these videos from. I didn't want to have any of that stuff in my head when I drove. So I was surprised there was only 2 turns on the track that kind of freaked me out. And you can hear me make comments as I went around them. And you could see Arnaud kind of reach over and pat my hand and say, you did good, you did good. So when I looked those 2 up, it was interesting. The first one that kind of freaked me out was the corner that Jan went airborne on. And that one, in the simulator, it was kind of freaky too, but once again, there's no consequences. When you actually drive that, it's a freaky corner. And it was interesting that I got that impression without knowing where it had happened. And the second one that freaked me out was the one that Nikki wrecked on. And I didn't think that was a significant corner. I didn't think that I would have that kind of impression from it. And it turns out that was one of the ones that you're really going fast and you're making a hard turn at very high speed, somewhere right around 130 miles an hour or so, and you're turning around this high radius kink. So that one freaked me out, and you can see Arnaud reach over and go, yeah, no, don't worry about it, you're good. And I was really surprised that was the one that Nikki wrecked on as well. So it's kind of like you kind of get these impressions, and then it's interesting to know that those were the 2 that significant wrecks had happened on. The YouTube corner that everyone wrecks on, that you see all the videotapes from and stuff, that one's not that impressive. It's not that freaky. I think it's just because there's an audience there and people are trying to push hard for the audience and all this kind of stuff. That's why there are wrecks there. It's not that hard of a turn to make. And I was kind of interested when Arnaud took me to YouTube corner as a viewer, and we parked in the parking lot. And as I was walking up and I was looking at all these people standing on the fence and stuff, I asked him, what are all these people here for? What are they hoping to see, like a prototype of some car that's coming around? Are they hoping to get a video of a prototype? And he said, no. He said, they're here to watch you wreck. And that was kind of interesting. So all these people, he said, are basically there to watch you wreck and then get a video of it and post it because they're going to get a lot of views. And so the whole internet version of the Nordschleife and of the Nurburgring is of these wrecks that happen on YouTube Corner. And that was my view of it too when I was watching all these videos and stuff. I kind of thought it was just chaotic and everyone was crashing and it was off-camber turns and everyone was hitting the walls and ping-ponging off of them. But it's interesting to hear Arnaud's view of all that kind of chaos and the percentages that he thinks of. How many of the drivers do these crazy things and how many of the drivers drive more sane?
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
That was really good.
Yeah.
It's an awesome track. That would be really hectic with lots of traffic though, because you can't take your eyes off the road.
Yeah.
To look around to see what's behind you.
People come in for the first time alone. They don't know the track, don't know the traffic, and they try to drive fast because they read on paper that
their car can do this.
Yeah, they try it. That's why there is many crash.
Wow.
It's about that kind of people.
That kind of mentality.
Yeah, that kind of modality. But the other one drive correctly. Maybe there is 5% people driving crazy.
So in the end, this is my favorite track now. This is the one that I really want to spend more time on. I know the risk level is really high, so if you spend a lot of time there, you're going to get in some kind of an accident. That kind of makes you pause. But it's a phenomenal track to drive on. It's a lot smoother than I thought it would be. I heard people say it was really rough. It's not that it's rough, it's the elevation changes that make the suspensions work hard. You become unweighted and you bottom out and stuff, and there's jumps. And so that's the challenge for the manufacturers. It's not the fact that the track is bumpy. It's very smooth and very well maintained. So I had a great time. I'm going to keep driving this thing on the simulator. I'm going to keep improving my skills. And I'm going to go back there and I'm going to drive it again. Hope to see you guys out there, especially you European guys. You guys are great drivers, a lot better than the drivers in the US. You got a much bigger population of people that drive well over there. So hats off to you guys, and I hope to see you again.